where I am in the temple. I'm going to be honest, it's a little noisy here. So if you hear explosions, that's fireworks. And if you hear animals braying or howling, it's because they don't like the firecrackers. And if you hear the horns blowing, that's just hell, Anyway, we'll get through it together. All right. I don't have Kirill with me tonight. Kirill had some family obligations to attend to, and I didn't want to let tonight slide. So, what are we going to talk about tonight? We're going to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to show you something that's important to me, and explain why I did it this way and what it is. So, without further ado, I will show you the latest and greatest. Might be a bit of workmanship here, and that would be this. Oh, yes. We know what this is now, don't we? This is a seal of Prince Orobus. Who is Prince Orobus? He is my patron and has been for 2 decades. He is probably the coolest spirit I know, and he is definitely the most influential reason as to why I'm here in this position that I am today. So, gratitude and respect, Prince Orobus. But what is this in particular? Why is this special? Well, I'm going to tell you. This is actually a piece of pine, all right? Pine cut slab, about 16 centimeters to 18 centimeters. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming. I have sanded this down, put a coat of gesso on it, and then did all the black work first in black acrylic, and then the silver on top, and then after that, a sealant coat of clear acrylic protective coat. So why would you want to make one of these? Why would you want to own one? Let me explain. Paper sucks, and I think we all know that. Paper does not hold a charge as good as wood, clay, metal in particular, or stone. If you use a paper seal and you open the seal for evocation, you do your ends chant, okay, and then you do your evocation. Let's say you give a blood offering and you put it on the seal. Well, you've ruined the paper seal. It's going to look ugly no matter what you do after that. Now, the seals that I use in my temple are black cardstock. They're a very strong variety of paper. But I think this year we're stepping up to woodcut. And that's exactly the direction we're going to go. Now, when you open a seal and you evoke a spirit using that seal like this, okay, you can ask the spirit to remain in part, like a part of their presence, in the actual seal. Do not close the seal after you've done that. You leave the seal right where it should be on the altar, like facing like this. And then the spirit will have a presence in that temple, on that altar, and an awareness of what's going on around the environment, immediately around it. The only drawback to this is you should never, ever have a muggle handle an open and charged seal of a poetic spirit. What will happen in a lot of cases is what's going on with my comments? Are my comments working right, or what's going on? Live chat, okay. All right. What will happen is if a muggle handles this, they will end up getting possessed. Now, it could be beneficent possession. It could be malefic possession. There's no way to know. But then you're going to have a real headache trying to get him to let go of your muggle. So, anyway, that would be something you could avoid if you could. That'd be probably helpful. So, also you can do a blood offering on these, and then the next day wipe it off with a wet paper towel, and it will not hurt the paint because of the sealant coat. These are good for long-term solutions for your spirits, and they really like the amount of effort that it takes to put one of these together. It's a good thing. So I'm doing one for Baal next, right here. This is going to be King Baal's, and I'm going to go through the list of the Pantheon, and we're going to make one for each. So, yeah, all right, now that's awesome. Oh, hey, I got another one. That's good. I'm glad you guys are here. Thanks for coming. We're going to talk tonight briefly about spirit discipline. What do you do when a spirit threatens you or attacks you? What do you do? Do you cry to another spirit? Oh, thanks, Luce. Do you go and cry to your patron? Do you find a god and cry to him if the spirit attacks you? No, that's the wrong thing to do. All the other spirits are going to be watching what you do next after it attacks you. All right? You definitely need to make a point of how you respond. Okay? There are Solomonic methods in the Lesser Key of Solomon for handling an disobedient, wicked, or unruly spirit. Oh, I got 7 people now. Great. Do not use these methods initially if you have a choice not to. The escalation that will create will be very, very severe. You have a lot of options at your disposal if the spirit has been outright threatening or physically hostile to you or spiritually hostile. You can name and shame it. Like, okay, for example, you say Spirit X on my YouTube. I'm going to put you on blast. I'm going to tell everybody what you did, and everybody's going to know that you're a bad spirit. That will make the spirit pause because he doesn't want the negative publicity. Because if he gets negative publicity, that will be fewer people evoking him, and that will be fewer open doors to this world for him. So that's one tool you have. The next tool, when dealing with the infernals and goetic spirits, you could use a Shem angel to bind, constrain, dispel, and keep it away from you, or punish it. Okay? Every goetic spirit has a Shem angel that frustrates it and supervises over it, or is more powerful than it. Now, you need to understand, if you got the wrong Shem angel, it's not going to do a damn thing, all right, to the goetic spirit. The goetic spirit may even beat the Shem angel up because it's not the right Shem angel. You got to make sure you get the right one. I do not advocate using Shem angels to punish goetic spirits. I think that's not a good idea. That's not how to make friends, and it's not how to conduct yourself if you want to create long-term relationships. So I would tell you don't do that if you don't have to. Okay? There are other methods that you can use too. And this would be one for a very serious type of scenario. If a spirit is trying to kill you, you can take the seal of the spirit. Yeah, okay, Luce. That's one way to do it. Archangel Michael for deliverance in Psalm 91. I mean, we almost all know that, right? But I feel like I would feel like a punk if I had to go to the archangels though to get saved from a demon. You know, I would feel like a punk. That's just me. Would I do it if I was in serious danger, though? Maybe. I don't know. You could take a spirit seal on paper and stick it on the end of your sword or your dagger. You burn mugwort, wormwood, datura, any stinking, nasty herbs that are poisonous, asafoetida. And you put the spirit seal on the end of your knife in the smoke. And that will torture the spirit. Do not do that unless it is life or death, because they will hate you en masse. And any of its friends that find out will also hate you. So just be aware that there are long-term consequences for getting aggressive with the spirit. But you should never take any fucking shit from them, ever. If you look weak or you look unable to defend yourself, they will start taking your offerings and giving you nothing. And then it will escalate from there to they will expect offerings and will give you nothing. And if you don't give the offerings, they will probably try to punish you. Once they realize that you have no teeth and no claws, they become really aggressive. The only thing that they respect is strength. You need to understand that. I don't advocate using the angels to try to punish or constrain them. I think that's the wrong tact. You need to be You need to be a tiger yourself. You need to be a beast in the left-hand path also. Like, capable of punishing them with like the smoke trick or the name and shame, or using divine infernal energy in order to basically put them in a state of awe or in a state of stepping back. Like, you could use the lesser headless ritual, you know, that one where I'm always like, and I am your God. And then the spirit's like, oh, that's a good way to do it too. You need to have the tools to do that so that you don't have to look to the angels or gods to save you from an aggressive demon. I was attacked once by a spirit. I'm not going to say who, because I don't want her to be embarrassed. But she made me bleed out really bad. Somebody threw a glass cup in my direction, and a piece of it ricocheted off the concrete and hit me in the Achilles fucking tendon. I'm not joking, dude. And I bled out like a stuck pig. It was a bad deal, man. I was on crutches for about 3 months. When I got well and I put that spirit in the triangle, man, it was a party. That was one of the most severe spirit beatings I've ever given one. And I've never had a problem with them since then. So, but anyway, you want to work things out rationally, diplomatically, if you can. Okay. It doesn't always go the way you want it to. Let's say we have a situation. Let's say you call Spirit X and send him against me. Well, what if I call the same spirit and send him against you? What's going to happen? Anybody want to tell me? Because I've been through this 16,000 times, so I know for sure what happens. Let me tell you what happens. Whoever they have a stronger relationship with will be the primary factor. Whoever they are more afraid of will be another big factor. Okay. If they don't want to get involved, they will say, we don't have the forces to commit to this at this time. You should ask a different spirit. That's a nice way of telling you they don't want to get involved. They do not want to get on the losing side of a conflict. That's something that they almost never want to do. If you get 3 spirits in a row that you ask, attack this person, and they keep saying no, that's a really good indicator that the demons don't think you're going to win this and you're going to get smoked. So they don't want to be involved. They want to sit on the bench. That's how you know. Yeah. Now, if a demon is sent after you and it likes you, a lot of times demons have, or any spirit has, the ability to use discretion with how it discharges its command. Like, you were sent to attack me. Okay. Well, this could be an attack. That could be an attack. It didn't hurt me, but it was an aggressive move. Therefore, the demon has discharged his responsibilities and now can go home. Who's this? Right. Oh, that's what I'm just covering just now, Luce. That's what I'm covering right now. What if that demon that likes you or is blood bond pacted to you is forced by Shem angels or Solomonic magic to attack you? The demon, if the magician did not spell out exactly what he wanted done to you, the spirit would be able to use discretion and check the amount of force that it hits you with and use only enough to fulfill the obligation. That's what I've seen them do. Like, I want you to hit him. Well, they go up and they're like, bing, okay, I hit him, bye. And that's it. I've seen that. So if you're gonna go that route, you need to be very specific that you want X, Y, and Z done at full strength with no holding back. But again, I do not advocate the use of Shem angels or Solomonic in order to deal with the infernals. It's not necessary, typically. Let me tell you what I would use the Shem for. Okay. In real life, I do this every day, all day. This is my business. This is what I do for a living. So that's the perspective that this is coming to you from. Let's say that I have Spirit Z, and I send him out to do a job, and I give him a timeline of 2 weeks. He comes back after 2 weeks, and the job isn't done. And I say, hey, you told me you wanted to do the job. You agreed to it, so why is it not done? Okay. He says, oh, the angels got involved. Oh, there was obstacles. Oh, there was opposition. And it's like, okay. Then I'm going to ask Arobus. I'm going to say, hey, Arobus, is he telling the truth or not? And Arobus is going to tell me. Right? Either way, I'm going to tell him, okay, I need you to get back out there and get this done. You've got a week. Go back and do it. Now, if he comes back to me again with another set of bullshit stories, he's trying to fuck me around. Okay, now I'm going to Shem you. Now I'm going to call your Shem angel, and I'm going to send you back out there to do the job under supervision. You forced me to. I didn't want to do that. And if that doesn't work, then I would probably resort to saying, okay, this spirit sucks. Nobody should work with him because he's got a bad attitude. And then I just wouldn't call that spirit again for like 5 years, maybe more, like that. That's how I would handle it. If you have done the 72 project, okay, and that is evoking each of the 72 goetics, you will find not all of them like you. Okay. Some of them don't like you and don't want to work with you. Most of them will agree to work with you, but they may not really have a good relationship with you or be close to you. If you have done the 72 exercise of doing the evocations of all 72, it takes a few months, obviously, but you create a lot of friendships and a lot of interaction with these spirits, so you know who does what. And if this spirit doesn't want to do it or can't do it, you could just ask a different one. That's the easiest way, in my opinion. All right, what else? What do we got here? Anybody else have a question? Does anybody have any questions about anything that I've just said? And everybody has their own opinion on Shem. Everybody has their own opinion on Solomonic. Look, the only thing I'm going to ask you guys is this. I want you to think of it from their perspective. Would you want to be supervised by an angel if you were a goetic infernal entity? Would that make you happy? No. So obviously that would be something that would be a strain on our relationship if I had that done to you. You wouldn't appreciate that. Yeah, exactly. We do have to specify. We need to specify time. We need to specify exactly what's going to happen to X, Y, or Z. And this is my technique on goetic evocation. I will evoke them. They show up after the conjuration, presumably. I give them incense and liquor and warm them up. Like we have like a, hey, how are you? It's good to see you. Thank you for coming. Do you know why you're here? Okay. He knows why he's here already. He knows that before he even shows up. So now we're going to get to this is what I need done. What would be interesting? What would you want for that? And then, okay, we'll kind of dicker a little bit, and then we'll agree, and then I'll do the charge, like the actual official charge, and then the license to depart, and then so on and so forth. I think it creates less confusion than just doing the charge directly and not doing negotiation first. So that's one way that I think is superior, but that's just my opinion. Yeah. Oh, no, never mind. That's not relevant. Yeah, does anybody else have any questions? Arobus wants to give a reading to one person. So if anybody has a question for Prince Arobus, a divination question, it can be anything you want. Arobus will answer your question now for the first person that types up their question. So this is courtesy of Prince Arobus. Yep. All right. Oh yeah, Prince Arobus. Oh yeah, this was a good session. Yeah, this was a good session. It's too bad Kirill wasn't here. I miss Kirill. It's like my sidekick, you know. Who's got a question for Prince Arobus? Because we're going to bust it out right now, and then I'm going to go party like it's 1999. No questions? No questions? Okay. Prince Arobus has a message for one of you that's watching. And if it applies to you, then it's you. Let's see. Wait. How's Prince see my... Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Very good. All right. Legendary Archer's question. I'm going to answer it right now via Prince Arobus. Prince Arobus, show us how his 2024 is going to look if we summarize it in one card. Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a challenging year. You're going to feel like you've gotten a lot of work at the end of this year, but you're not going to feel like you got ahead very much. If you are working on building a name for yourself or building a reputation based on the quality of what you do as far as your profession goes, or your calling on your path, you're not going to make the headway that you want to make. It will feel like a lot of effort, and it will be like a weak harvest this coming year if you continue on the path that you are now. Now, that card was the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. That means that this is mundane. You can change that with magic, changing your plans for this year, taking a different route. There's plenty of options that you have to change that as far as. Okay, that's a good question, Glitch. I'm going to answer that in a second, Glitch. Good question. So yeah, so anyway, my man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there. You can have a great year still. It's just if you are concerned about making a name for yourself or reaping a good harvest in terms of the entire year, I would suggest that you use magic. Usually wealth and prosperity, something gin related, would probably help a lot. Thank you for your question. Prince Arobus wishes you a good year. Glitch. All right. Should you drink and eat the offerings that you give to a spirit? Yes or no? That's a damn good question, and I'm glad he asked it. You know what? Here's the answer. You can do it both ways, and here's why. If I invite a spirit inside of me for partial possession, okay, it can taste my cigarettes. It can taste my coffee. It can taste my chocolate that I eat, okay? If I leave the offering for the spirit and he's not inside of me, the spirit is going to take the astral double. Everything that's in the physical world has a mirror image on the other side. Like this coffee here exists in the astral also. If I give this to Arobus is going to take the astral coffee and take the nutrition and life force out of it. When that happens, it will spoil and decompose and evaporate at twice the speed it would normally do so. So you can do it either way, is the answer to your question, Glitch. I prefer to give the offerings to the spirit and not consume them myself. It is important when you give the offering that you declare that it is for that spirit and that spirit only, so that no other spirit takes it. Yeah, cool, Legend. Yeah, no problem, brother. Luce, is there anything special this December? Okay, right now we are in Mercury in retrograde, which sucks tremendously. It's going to give communication problems and difficulties with paperwork, anything school related, things like that. So that's what's going on. We just had a full moon in Cancer, and we're heading towards the waning moon now. So that's what would be going on. Did I understand that right? Okay. Anything not Mercury related will probably be okay. Where Mercury is going to manifest itself is in disagreements or misunderstandings between friends that are talking to one another or corresponding through messaging. So, the Cancer full moon might have been what was giving it so much juice. That's possible. Yeah. I really don't worry about the alignments of the planets. I worry about the phases of the moon, and I worry about the planetary hours and days of the week. That's what I try to focus on. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. If I need to do a love spell on a Sunday at 5 p.m., I'm going to do it. And that's it. I'm going to do it. If I can, I will line it up for the right day and the right hour if I can. Why? Because that's extra power, and I'm not so big that I can just disregard extra sources of power for no reason. If you can take advantage of the tides of the planets and the hours, you should. If you can't, then don't worry about it. Just do it anyway. So that's my advice to you. Yeah. Anyway, good night, everybody. I appreciate you coming. Prince Arobus, he says peace to everybody, and I'll cook up some more stuff and be able to show you next week. And everybody have a great new year. Thanks for coming. Good night.